and on a partial wartime footing, she was ready to put to sea to fight at a moment's notice. In the days before, she had been at sea for nighttime gunnery practice and had come into port to take Sunday off. Many of her crew was not on board. Those who were on board were allowed to sleep in, and were not at general quarters, of course, when the attack started. However, Arizona's gunners were able to get to their general quarters stations and start to defend the ship. They simply didn't have enough preparedness or anti-aircraft support to be able to drive off the roughly 360 Japanese aircraft that attacked. The explosion basically broke the ship in two at the forward bulkhead. When the ship broke in half, the decks at that forward part collapsed in on themselves, which caused the entire forward superstructure to drop forward, which became the iconic symbol of the attack on Pearl Harbor. Arizona was decommissioned by the end of December 1941, and she was stricken from the Naval Register within a year by December of 1942. If you have a misconception about Battleship Arizona still being in commission, check out this other video about when she was decommissioned. So, Arizona does not stack up well in comparison to Battleship New Jersey. She's a much older vessel. The damage that destroyed Arizona probably would not have destroyed New Jersey. New Jersey is armored against 16-inch projectiles because that's what she's armed with, and so that shell might not have made it through her armored deck. Had it have, all of New Jersey's magazines aren't concentrated the way Arizona's were, and so her 5-inch magazines are spread out along Broadway, and a hit to these magazines would have still been devastating, but it might not have been quite as catastrophic. Arizona's largest shortcoming is in the speed department. At 21 knots, she can't keep up with New Jersey. But that represents a fundamental change in thinking in American battleship design, where with the standard type, guns were most important, armor was pretty important, and then speed was not important at all. With New Jersey, speed was the most important, followed by guns, and then finally armor. And Arizona's armor is in most places, especially against low trajectory broadside shots, thicker than New Jersey's. Remember, Arizona was designed to fight a battle at ranges where you could see the enemy, where shells would be coming in and hitting you broadside at a relatively flat trajectory. During her 1930s update, the elevation of her main guns was increased as the elevation or the ranges of battle increased. However, it was too late to add sufficient armor plating to the ship's main deck. And so she was never as immune against aerial bombs and plunging fire as Battleship New Jersey was designed to be from day one. In terms of main battery guns, 12 14-inch guns puts out a similar volume of fire to the smaller number of 16-inch guns. Secondary battery, anti-aircraft battery, Arizona just doesn't compare. And again, that's 30 years of more experience and even the 3 years of wartime experience between the attack on Pearl Harbor and when this ship received the full anti-aircraft battery. The other place where Arizona falls flat is being an older ship. She's over 250 feet shorter than New Jersey. New Jersey simply has more deck area, which means she can carry more guns. Pennsylvania, which did survive the attack on Pearl Harbor, was never modernized with the same volume of anti-aircraft fire as New Jersey could carry. You may get more with New Jersey, but that costs you. Arizona cost $16 million in 1914 to build. In 1943, Battleship New Jersey cost $100 million, and that doesn't include the cost of guns and armor plating. New Jersey's speed meant that she didn't go obsolete as quickly as Arizona.
Battle starts.
Arizona was able to serve through the entire interwar period. She had over a 20-year career, which is what you would expect to get out of a battleship at that time. However, her sister battleships that survived the attack on Pearl Harbor were not frontline units anymore. They were too slow, and so they were used for shore bombardment primarily, while battleships like New Jersey, with their high speed, could continue to be used with the carriers, and then were still relevant 50 years later because they had the speed to respond to crises all around the world. Arizona was designed to operate as a member of a battle line, one ship in a squadron, while New Jersey, it may have been hoped that she operated like that, but functionally was able to do most of her gunnery work alone or with a small number of escorts, or to operate as part of a larger mixed composition force with carriers, cruisers, destroyers, etc. Thanks for watching. If you have a suggestion for a future ship comparison video, drop them in the comment section down below. If you have a question about anything you see in this video, also drop it down there. We're pretty good at responding to comments. If you like the content we're creating and are interested in seeing more like this, remember to like, share, and subscribe. We put out new content multiple times a week. In particular, all this week, we're putting out content relating to Pearl Harbor. If you'd like to support the museum and our YouTube channel, there's a link below to our GoFundMe campaign. Any donation you make that helps us produce more content. Thanks for watching.
You did it. You built a successful business and made it look easy. But at US Bank, we remember what went into getting here. Through it all, our wealth management team is always here to work with you, because there's nothing as powerful as the power of us.
Whatever trip you're planning, we've been there. Tripadvisor.
Hi, I'm Ryan Samantha, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial. Today we've got another video in our ship comparison series. This time we're going to look at how the Kirov-class battle cruisers compared to an Iowa-class battleship. This is one of those videos that has been much requested. So, as a reminder, if you have any comparisons you'd like to see us make, drop them in the comment section down below. We've got a list of a couple you guys have made that'll be coming out in the next couple of months, but let us know what you want to see compared to an Iowa-class battleship. Just a reminder, we compare things to an Iowa-class battleship because we have an Iowa-class battleship. Maybe an Iowa isn't the most direct comparison to a ship, but this is a ship that you can come out and see in 4 different places across the United States, and many of these other ships aren't around anymore, so having one of these allows us to compare the size and capabilities of one of these ships to one that you can actually walk through. So that's why we're doing this. So, it has been much reported that the Iowa-class battleships were brought back in the 1980s to deal with the Kirov-class battle cruisers. That's probably in part correct.
Well done,
but
Commander.
it's more complex than that.
Torpedoes to starboard.
The Kirovs were just entering service in the early 80s, and they were never in any sort of large numbers. The Iowas were brought back because Reagan wanted a 600-ship Navy, and it's much easier to bring back mothballed ships than to build new ones. It's much quicker to do that. Only took a year to reactivate New Jersey, whereas it would have taken 3 or 4 years to plan, design, lay down, and actually